Hello and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. My name is Nelson and this is Dungeon a Day. Back on the map, back loaded up that we worked on last episode. I started doing rocks, and as you can see, I threw rocks and boulders and all sorts of loveliness down onto the map, and it's giving it a lot more life than it once had before. Now, the next thing I would like to add to this map, as far as the cave sections go, is changes in elevation. There's two ways that I've seen changes in elevation, which is basically a line and a cliff sort of looking thing. So we'll go here. These are the lines that I drew before. Let's erase them and I'll show you what's up. Basically, this means down. So whenever a slope is going like this, that means it's going down, but it's a harsh slope. A very steep slope. Shallow slopes are represented with are represented with broken lines and the arrow. So this would represent a more shallow slope. They also have natural stairs, which is if it's in the cavern like this, it would just be like this, and then one side with a U and then the other side with a D for up and down. We could do those a few different ways. Now, I don't want to do the natural steps, not for this map. Or maybe I should just make the brushes. So we'll make the brushes. That's all we need. It's the only brush we really need. We select it, define, edit, define brush preset. Doesn't really matter because we're not going to keep it with that name. We're going to do some fun stuff with it. Let's get this brush. You see we have it, and it's not very useful in its current state. However, going to this brush menu over here, up that spacing, go to shape dynamics, angle jitter, following the direction, rotate it. Okay, that seems about right. Angle jitter, roundness jitter, we won't even worry about none of that because now we've got natural steps. They're a bit too close, so let's up the spacing a little bit more and try that again. Let's get a nice smaller size. Let's go to our actual map. That's way too big. Probably gonna need it to be like 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Let's try 20. 20 is a bit small. So let's go over to 50. That's visible enough, right? That's visible enough. We could always go make it a bit bigger by just adding a stroke. 3, let's put 5 maybe. Make it nice and thick. Try again. What am I doing? Just stop being so crazy, dude. Just make the brush. Define brush preset. Sample brush, yes. Deselect. Go to the brush menu. Go to this brush. Alright. Up that spacing up. Rotate it the way it needs to be. Go to shape dynamics. Go to direction. Test it out. That is a hefty brush. Whoa, that is quite hefty. Alright. Let's also put size, jitter based on pen pressure. Keep it 50, and then let's see what my pen pressure would look like if I wanted it to go from down to up. Right? I should rotate it all the way around this way. That way I can draw upwards. Let's increase this size to 100. I think I could work with that. Like if this is the steps, Yeah, I could work with that. Alright, so what we're going to do is just right click, put the little arrow thingy here. Can you see the little arrow thingy here? The arrow thingy? New brush preset. Natural step. Natural steps. And we really don't need this one. So we could delete that. And don't really need that one, so we could delete that too. Alright, now going back here, we have the natural step brush. Same process for our door brush. See that door brush? Space it. Nice and spacey. Shape dynamics. Make sure it follows the direction. And now we have that. So we can get our broken line and then draw an arrow. Then get our broken line and draw an arrow for our slope. So, new brush preset. It's a broken line. We may have more broken line things later, I don't know, but for now we'll just call it broken line 1. Boom. So we're done. Now just go back to our dungeon a day. Dungeon a day dungeon, and let's see where we want to add some slopes. Probably should have made this a little smaller. I think I want this area to be sloped. You know what? Take the pen pressure off. So it's going to be a gentle slope. Zoom in and get a little bit more accuracy going in here. This will all be one just gentle slope. This is split off to another gentle slope downward. And switch to this. Probably too large, right? Hey, what am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong buttons because I'm too excited. 10 pixels. This will be a hefty slope. Just a fast fall down there. Throw the little arrows in that we need to throw in to represent which is down. We want to keep those natural steps there. Let's keep those natural steps there. This is up, and this one's down. And, oops, we drew everything on our rocks layer. Doesn't really matter. You always relabel that. Some other thing, some other time. Just, go on our whiteout layer. Add a little bit of whiteout to this, just to make it pop a little bit more. Make it a little bit more visible, a little bit more evident, without having to be so crazy about it. Throw that on the arrows, so you know you're going down. Like I said, this is only just to make it a little, just a minuscule amount more evident, I guess. Going back to this section here, with the regular brush selected, usually cliffs or changes in elevation are represented, say like that. I want to do I'm just being crazy, but that's it. Eyelashes. So you represent changes in elevation. Now I've already made cliff brushes before. I'm not going to be using them right now in this dungeon from Dungeon a Day, and I may not use them at all. I may keep the pen look. So we'll see. But that could just be drawn in. So we'll just draw in some changes in elevation. This is a gentle slope. However, the mine, that level drops off. So we got that. You know what? I don't like that one. Sketchy sketch. Sketchy sketch, hatchy hatch. I call all sorts of things. But there's the change in elevation in that one, and I think this will be the biggest change, and this will be a secondary change here. Get our little sketchy sketch hatchy hatches thingamaboobs or whatever. Get that going to represent that it's a tiered effect going downwards. And before I continue, I'm a dunce. I put that on my whiteout layer. This is what I get for not paying attention to what I'm doing. So we'll just copy paste. It's everything on different layers is perfectly fine. Let's make sure it's not lined up the way I wanted it to be. Let's put it back the way I wanted it to be. Merge it with the rocky rocks. So turn all the rocks off, only the whiteout layer goes, turn the whiteout layer, it's independent. I like them to be independent because I like fiddling around and changing things up and making one map be able to do more than one thing. Again, later on in the series, I'll show you some things that I can do with that. But before that, we have the whiteout layer. I think we're going to have a blackout layer. And what I mean by a blackout layer is let's actually fill the entire thing with black. Give it a mask, and then invert the mask so that it's all masked away. Then we go to our brush, painting away on the mask. Lower the opacity of the brush to like 10%, and paint it away. Oh, we need the white selected to paint it away. So we can just add a layer of darkness to sort of further accentuate this. Let's put the blackout layer underneath the whiteout layer. That way those rocks don't get lost. I like the way those rocks look there. So let's put 30% opacity. So as you can see, there it is. Just adding a different value to accentuate the loss in height. And you know what? I'm painting out of the lines. So let's edit, undo all that. And remember our working layer? This thing right here? It's changed a bit. You know what? Let's not use our working layer. Let's go down to where our mines are and control click the mask for the mines. Control clicking the mask, the image of the mask. If you can see the marching ants, actually selects the mask and makes it a selection so that you paint inside the lines. So I'm going to reveal that, and I can get all reckless. I mean, can you see how much I'm squiggling the everything? So that this layer becomes a bit darker. Alright, so that is obviously lower. Now I'm going to lower the opacity 10% and paint this one a bit and overlap with the previous ones. The previous one still, it's even darker every time. Right. And let me just get this in at a 10%. Paint the lower layer just to darken it a bit, so we can tell that there's a difference. And we'll just lighten up. Get a 10% in here too, because this is a lower level. And let's that's a steep fall off. Let's get a 40% opacity for that, because it's a steep drop off. Then a 30 right around here. Oh, over that again. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna edit, undo, and go for 20. We'll go for 20. Paint it like this and go for 20 again, so that we can have a gradient as we go up. So I'm doing it 3 times to go up the steep slope, just to make it look a little bit different than all the rest, so that it looks like it's going down. I don't like it. Do you? I'll tell you what, I'll work on the map just a bit more, And when we come back next episode, you'll see where I took it. So, until then, always remember to keep cool, get all your crafts on. Don't let anyone or anything limit your creativity. And peace.